this video. This is just getting started with the board game project. So with board games, there's two different types. There's the closed, and then there is the open, more structured. So closed board games would be something like Monopoly, maybe even Candyland? Candyland is a good one. Open games would be something more like checkers or chess. Monopoly and Candyland are obviously a lot different from them. Specifically, the biggest difference being that they're closed. They don't have an open board that you can go through. You have a dice and you can go through the board in a closed manner. We'll get started with combining the open board games like checkers, chess, tic-tac-toe, which is a board game, even though there's not like an official professional board made for it, because it is a 3x3 board. We're going to get started with tic-tac-toe, because that's going to be the easiest to integrate into the other ones. And there are X's and O's. The winning parameter is 3 in a row. Any 3 in a row diagonal, cross sections, however you can make a 3 in a row pattern, you win. And then with checkers, it is an 8x8 board. Therein lies the first issue. We have a 3x3 board that we need to combine with an 8x8 board. Now, you could just do a 24 board, and that would mathematically make it so that it's divisible by 3 and divisible by 8. But I'm going to opt for a more, or I should say, less dramatic kind of alteration and just add 1 to both of the 8s. So the board becomes a little bit bigger. It's by 1 tile on either side. Now this is going to change checkers just a little bit into how it works, but it's kind of the same idea though. It is a 9x9 board, and instead of splitting it up into the 3 categories, that of which being a 3x3 section, I think the 3x3 sections acting as miniature tic-tac-toe boards would be a much better idea for how it works. Now, when designing a board like this, of course you would want to color each one of the segments differently so that people could very easily delineate the separate segments from each other. So, you have 9 segments of 9 segments of 3x3. You have 9 3x3 segments. The winner, the way you win in checkers is to get rid of all of the enemy pieces. So get rid of pieces. And that does not really function too well with tic-tac-toe to begin with. So what I did was I chose to make 3 in a row one of the rule sets. Kind of drew the same line again, but one of the rule sets, meaning that 3 in a row does not immediately get you a win, but it can be used to directly help you get rid of all the pieces. And the way I was thinking of doing that is if you line up the checkers pieces in a row, such as diagonally, then any of the enemy checkers pieces that are in the same board get destroyed, which is get rid of the pieces. Now, therein lies another issue. Checkers takes place on the diagonal and the diagonals only. So you would only be able to get 3 in a row in a diagonal, which is no good. Obviously, you want to be able to get the other kind of tic-tac-toe, as is the name of the game. And that problem will get fixed when we add checkers into the mix. I've been confusing these. I messed this up. But when we add chess into the mix, then we will have, or tic-tac-toe will work to its fullest extent. So, let's get started with combining this 9x9 board of checkers with chess, which is actually a little bit more simple than you'd imagine. And there you kind of have it. Replacing the pawns with checks, making the rule set more of like this. You have a game that is pretty silly, and the only idea of it was to see if you could even make it at all. And for the most part, it worked. Do I think it would be fun to play? Probably not.